Riverbend Springs, September year 7. This is turning into my favorite day of the week when I get to record on this series. I'm loving it, guys. And we are driving over to the grass field right now because our supply of grass is getting a little bit low for the sheep. They're going through it a lot quicker than anticipated. And we do have a helper out here cutting the lawn for us. And was kind of thinking that tractor probably doesn't have enough horsepower to do what we're asking it to do today. I mean, how you doing in there? That's not very efficient. Let's solve this. Definitely having flashbacks at this point. So we are now in the 7810. The 7R is going to take care of mowing, but we can't use the square baler on this tractor. We're going to go grab the round baler. I am trying to get this done somewhat quick because we have a decent amount of things I want to focus on today. So we got to decide what we're going to do with the field to our right, and we already have one field planted, so we need to double check to make sure there's nothing else we need to do for that field before harvest. Since we don't have precision farming, I have a feeling we need to do another application of fertilizer, and I don't remember if we took care of the weeds. That's the problem with only recording once a week, is I start forgetting where we left off, but we'll get reacquainted. And we want to make sure as we head over with this, because we want to turn bale wrapping off. So that would be Control Alt. So it should be off now. Once we get over there, we'll start wrapping these bales. And the size is gonna be the only option on this one. So they are gonna be a little bit smaller than the other bales that we were dealing with the other baler. But I don't think that's a problem, and we might be able to catch up. So I'm not sure what they're doing. They're supposed to do the headland, and they decided not to. Let's fix that. Start on headland. Oh, you want to do 2? So with the other tractor and this setup, when we come in here, it's showing the minimum headlands is 2, and with the other tractor, it said the minimum headlands was 1. I don't know how it makes those decisions. All right, that one got dropped. All right, with whatever it's doing over there, we will catch up or be efficient enough for this to get done pretty quickly. So we're gonna bust through this grass harvest and baling session. We'll have to get some fertilizer put down on the grass field today, and then we'll start, checking all of the fields to see what we need to do to them, and start planning out what we're going to do across the road here, because we might want to do a little bit of field prep in September if we have some downtime. We're waiting for 2 harvests that I believe are going to be ready in October. We'll have some corn and we will have some soybeans. And the soybeans are really what we think's going to just basically fund buying the fields that we want to buy that we talked about last episode. That new production yard, we want to get the oil production going. We planted a decent amount of canola in fields 59 and 60 last episode, so that's the start of our oil production journey that we're going to go on, and we're going to find some other productions to put in there as well as we move forward once we do get that land. And just to catch everyone up, it's 6, 7, and 9 are the fields that we're targeting to be our future production yard. Getting to the point where the workers were going to start running into the bales, so I figured we'll get a head start here. And I think stacking this way looks so good on this trailer here. And this next one, oh, we got a mix match size in there. We took them from that shed over there, but that should be good. We can leave the truck there for now. How did we miss that one? I do like that we can get multiple sizes stacking this way. All right, and that'll be good. We can go ahead and leave the truck here. I forgot I wasn't tabbing on this series. Oh, we got to get rid of this truck. This truck is causing the issues with the sound, so we might have to do that today. We'll see how it goes. I did have it happen 3 times on me while doing it on another series, while using the same setup on another series. And this one also has the bales too far back on that configuration. Okay. We'll have to get that sorted out. But we'll go ahead and switch this to unload on the right and get that taken care of. And boy, don't do it on a slope like that. Who's teaching this guy how to farm? This looks way safer over here. There we go. They still, because there are different sizes, I think is what caused that to to not work correctly. So let's go ahead and get the rest of the bales that are out here. I think we're beyond the spot. Nope, we gotta hurry up. We gotta hurry up right now and get that one he's about to run into, and then after that we can finish baling, and we won't have an AI worker run into anything else, so we should be solid moving forward. All right, there is a reason why. There's a reason why I bought that other baler. I don't enjoy the stopping, so we're just gonna put this to the side now. We're gonna solve this problem. We need another tractor that has a decent amount of horsepower, so I don't know if we'll do it today, but we're gonna definitely keep an eye on that. Before we get this all set up back on the square baler, we're gonna take a look at the used market just in case there's something. So we have the white and we have that 7810. I don't think their value is super high, so it might not be wise to trade them in right now, but it's something that I'm absolutely thinking about long term is, can we trade both of those tractors in and get a nice upgrade to complement the 7R? Because we seem to be using only 2 tractors at a time really lately. There's not a lot of jobs that I'll have where I'll want 3. I mean, that could change, but I don't see it changing. And this is definitely staying over here. This is the only place we use it, so it needs to stay in its home here. But that's probably why we haven't been, huh? We might get a bigger shed. We'll fix the problems. And then I also want to, while I'm thinking about it and oversteering, we're just gonna come up here and bump this a little bit. And that should work, all right. Got it out of our way. We're gonna get these this grass baled up a lot faster now with the square baler. Just trying to save a little bit of time, and you know, in hindsight, probably should have just did both these jobs myself and it would have been just fine. But let's keep rolling. Actually, no, I did say we're gonna do something, so let's do it. Let's check the used market just in case. There's not anything, and I wanted to see if I had the mod. I don't. So we know we need about 275 horsepower for what we were doing there. I mean, that's what we have. We know that has enough. The equivalent case here has 374 horsepower. What does the medium case have? I mean, there is this Magnum Pro here, but I don't think we want to go with that. But then there is the Puma that has 224. You can upgrade it up to, how high can we go? 302, and that would cost us $270,000. So something to keep in mind there. Some more plains and prairies pack stuff, but not a ton of horsepower on this either. That would be close. And it has the front and back. I don't know. Let's get the baling done. We'll worry about that tractor upgrade or change later on. But yeah, time to get the baling done. Let's do it. All right, that's so much more enjoyable to me. I don't know what it is, guys. I find it more enjoyable. So last pass here, we're going to, you know, take a look at the other fields and what needs to be done on them. After we get this done, we do need to get the bales out of the way first, but the next thing is gonna be doing some field treatment. And if we figure out what we want to put in that field, we could decide if we're going to have to cultivate it or if we're just going to be able to do no tillage on it. We can figure that out momentarily though. All right, this baler we will take back home with us. And the other one's, I mean, it'd be a pretty penny probably to sell that one. We're not doing silage really. I just don't see any purpose in doing it. Well, mostly because I just find it really repetitive. But let's go ahead and get this away where it was when we found it and just slowly back it up. Easy for me to say. Hard for me to do. There we go. That should be good there. All right, let's go ahead and drop it off. And then we're gonna need, I believe we're gonna prefer the sprayer. I don't know, actually. All right, let's take a look. Soil consumption's what we want to look at here. So, water needs rolled. Let's shut that off. Let's shut off mulching. We really care about fertilizer and weeds right now. So we do have weeds to take care of on 59 and 60. We also want a second application of fertilizer. So we could do fertilizer first, herbicide second. Unless we have something to take care of the weeds without chemicals. Which, looking around, I don't think that's the case on this playthrough. So let's go ahead and I think what I'm gonna do is the sprayer we're gonna send with this tractor over to that field. Gonna get some herbicide for it, but we'll have a worker take care of that. We will use the 7810 with the spreader, and we'll do the fertilizer on the grass field first. And then we'll head that way with that one to do the fertilizer on the other field. So I don't believe we have any chemicals right now. So let's head to the store with this and we'll get that all set up. And then we'll have to come back. Oh, okay, we're good. We're good. We ran over a mountain a little bit there, but we're good. But then we'll have to come back and get going on the 7810 and do the same thing. I don't think we have any fertilizer for that. Any solid fertilizer either. So a little bit to do to get going, but that's what we're here for. All right, so let's go ahead and get all the chemicals that we're gonna need purchased here. All right, under consumables here, we want to go with some herbicide. And I think just to have it on hand, we'll go ahead and buy 6,000 worth, 6,000 liters worth. And then as far as the solid fertilizer, I think we're gonna grab 4,000 of that. And that should be right here, perfect. All right, let's get back in the tractor, get that all turned on and filled up. And then I'm gonna try and assign a worker from here. So that's less of a run home for me. But we'll get this filled up with all 6,000 liters here, if it holds it. Is this not gonna have 6,000 liters of capacity? It doesn't. It's close, but we'll get what we can, and it should be enough, but we will, you know, have to run over with the truck if it's not. Kind of surprised at that. Might be time for an upgrade. All right, so if we do this right, we should be able to hold this down, right? No, we can't. All right, we jump in it this way. I think you get out of the tractor, you click on it, create job, and we want to go field work. We'll go right there, and they should just start and go. Okay. We're gonna run home. Haven't put the harvester away because we're gonna be using it in October, but let's go ahead and get the spreader now. I wonder if the Bednar has some seed or fertilizer, but we did just buy some, so we might as well just go pick some up that we ordered. So we'll head that way, and then we'll come back and do the grass field first, and then we'll head out to field 5960. Them's the plans. But we are all done with the fertilizer for these fields. Now we need to just figure out what we're gonna do with that other field, or it's time to just get to October. So we're gonna get this home and we'll do some thinking while we're driving. And we're gonna take a look at those productions as well. Kind of do a little bit of math on the money we're needing too. But I'll see you at home. All right, so let's look at this production here. We wanna find the oil production. There's the oil mill. So it looks like we have some canola, sunflowers. It looks like both types of rice and olives. I never do olives. That'd be interesting. So if we did sunflowers over here, let's see when we plant those. Sunflowers look like they are in March. So we know that we have, it's right behind me. We have this planter, which only, no, it has seed and fertilizer. Okay, but is it no-till? I don't think it is. So here it is right here. And it does say, so planters are, yeah, so it's a special type of seeder, we know that. But if we looked over here, we could see no previous cultivation or plowing necessary. So this is a no-till drill here, or planter. Over here is not. So we could start prepping this while we have some time in September. We could get this cultivated or subsoiled. Let's see what the need on the field is. Come in here and, well, let's go here. Does it need, I don't remember if I do have needs plowed on. So we don't need that. So mulching would be nice, but we don't have equipment that does mulching, I don't believe. Mulching would add an extra, is it 2.5% yield bonus, I believe it is? So we have this subsoiler and we have this cultivator, which would require that tractor there. We could get that done, or we could look at the fact that we're gonna have one field, which is 60 and 59. Let's double check that we got the fertilizer all good there as well. Yeah, we're looking good. It does need lime. We did miss that part, and this one needs lime as well. So what I think we're gonna do is hold off on anything else for September. I think I'm itching to get to October. Why does he look like me? Why is he me? Now that's scary. All right, just sorting everything out to make sure we're done with what we need to do for September. We are gonna grab this wool here and take it to the production. Instead of taking it to the storage, we are gonna add this 6,000 to the production, start filling that up. And I think it's time to just kind of keep that full until we get closer to time to sell again. And then every time when we go there, if it doesn't take the wool, we can then put it in storage. Meaning that if the production's already full and at capacity, then we obviously do need to put it into storage. But we're making so much wool that I think we're gonna run into that problem pretty quick, actually. Oh, mailman, woo, we just avoided him. Turned right in front of us, trying to get that workman's comp or something going on there. All right, well, looks like we have somewhat of a traffic issue, but that does allow us to take care of this fabric that's over here as well. Go ahead and hook this one up here, and then we'll grab the other one next to it. Lower like that, should be able to just back out. There we go. Yeah, I love these forks. Super easy to use if you remember which buttons to push. There we go. And we'll take this over to storage, and we should be starting to get a decent inventory of fabric over here now. And we did a lot of math, you know, earlier on in the series. It is not financially worth it to do the clothing company. The fabric is basically where this production line peaks, and it would be nice if you actually made an extra profit from making the clothes out of the fabric, but you just don't seem like, it doesn't seem like you do it all. And it was really small profit margins, really. If you know, by the time you buy the production, it's just going to take forever to pay yourself back for that to break even, because the profit margins aren't just doubled. They're not even really that much better. Let's take a look at our soybean field here. Looks like, yes, stage 6 of 7, and it only got 50% fertilized. I guess we have another job to do. Let's get the truck home. Oh, we had more to do. I think what we're gonna do now, because we know that, we are gonna get the spreader over here, get the fertilizer put on that. I think it'll still give us the bonus. I can't believe we forgot that. We're gonna swing by the playground first, and I guess, no, I'm the one trying to get workman's comp with the mailman. We're gonna run by the playground, see how that's progressing. We're gonna come home, we're gonna do that, and then we're gonna close off September with doing some cultivating on the soon-to-be sunflower field. That'll leave us the 2 harvests in October, and next episode we'll definitely get through the rest of year 7. I can't tell yet if it's looking any different. Let's get up the hill and take a look at it. Oh, maybe it is looking different. Some scaffolding up here now. So it's got 5,500 more to burn through, so it'll probably be October when it gets through all of that, as you see in the bottom right there. But the playground's starting to come together nice. We'll see what's needed next. I'm hoping whatever it is something we already have in there. All right, crop destruction is off, so we should be good with that. Locked into place. Let's go ahead and get that started. I think we'll have enough capacity in here. I'm gonna set this at about, I think 17, I think is about where I feel comfortable with that. I'm gonna hit speed override and cruise a little quicker. And let's make sure that is taking, because I'm pretty sure it will. Now, hold on. It must have been just, oh my goodness. We just we changed all of our plans. Okay, I feel there was little specks. There was little specks that were at 50%. This is hilarious. Oh, man. Well, while we drive back, I'm going to tell a little story. Back in April, we started a channel called Socks Way Up. Relaunched that as a variety channel. I was in extreme burnout from Farming Simulator and a lot of things we're not going to talk about, just regular life things. And I decided to add on to that by creating another channel that was a variety channel. I wanted a break from Farming Simulator, and instead of just scaling back, I just went overboard with creating another channel that did pretty good. We got it up to 1,500 subscribers before I called it quits last week and realized I'm not full-time, guys. And a lot of you know that have been around for a while. And it's not going to happen anytime soon, so I've made a lot of changes to keep everything balanced in life, and getting rid of that second channel. There's no reason to run 2 channels when I have a full-time job and a family and everything. So keeping this rant really short because we have done a lot of these over the last few months, but I wanted to let everybody know that we're in a pretty good place right now, and 3 videos a week is what we're doing on the farming channel. We might get a bonus episode of this series every once in a while for a 4th one, because like today's episode's only going to be in September, and I do want to move through it a little quicker than 1 month a week. But yeah, we're in a good spot, and I don't feel stressed, really. I feel like I'm playing video games again and having fun doing it, and I hope it's coming across in the videos. But I did want to give an update on that. Fully dedicated to only making content for Farming Simulator and this channel at the moment, and for the foreseeable future. But things are going good. We're going to get back to the farm. We will go ahead and hook up to the cultivator. We'll get that field cultivated. I think it is wise to do that. But let's go ahead and grab the cultivator. We'll get that job going. And that'll be something that we might actually do an application of fertilizer on that as well. Well, the planter has it. So yeah, we learned that unless they've changed that, in FS22, I could cultivate right now and do an application of fertilizer. We would have 50% fertilization. Oh, that was the wrong button. I meant to unfold it. The reality is here, it's September. So if we did cultivation and fertilizer in September, and then when it came time to plant in March, we could do fertilizer and seed, and we'd be at a 50% or 100% fertilization at that point. Well, for whatever reason, it doesn't work that way, or it didn't early on. Even though it's a separate month, the field state hasn't changed, so the game doesn't recognize or allow you to do that second application of fertilizer until the field state changes, which makes 0 sense to me. And so I've been kind of protesting that, you know, that it does that, and we've been just kind of, you know, doing workarounds, which it's unfortunate, but it's silly. I think it's silly. I could be completely wrong, but I don't think I am in this scenario. But so that's why I'm not going to do the fertilizer today, because it will just be wasteful. Since we do have a planter that can do fertilizer, we'll just have to do that second application of fertilizer afterwards. And we did talk about precision farming on this playthrough. I've kind of decided that I want to keep one series going that doesn't use it. And since this one started, you know, at the beginning of Fs25, we might as well just keep it that way. No precision farming. We'll be good. But we're going to do a time lapse here of me trying to cultivate as good as possible here without steering assist, because if I do this, it doesn't recognize the field because it's a little bit broken. I can fix the field, I know how to, but I thought it'd be fun to freestyle it. So let's do a little time lapse of me freestyling. No GPS, no steering assist. Let's get her done. All right, that's just chaos, guys. I do want to show how to fix this. So We hold down the helper button, field preview doesn't show up. So let's jump into construction mode here. And I believe the problem child or the problem section is kind of right here. So let's go ahead and grab just grass, and we're going to just smooth that out a little bit. And then let's hop back in the tractor and let's give it a shot. Still no preview. Okay. So let's go back in, and we're just going to keep kind of playing with that. And I'm going to go up until it starts changing right here. I'm going to hold shift and hit A, and I have a mod that's doing a perfect straight line here. It's going to hold me into place. And let's see if that did it now. That did it. So just straightening out that line there took care of the problem. So now we have our guided lines, and it makes for a much smoother time lapse, in my opinion. You'll see. I mean, that seemed a lot better, right? You know, all of these tractors, especially these ones, I think it's pretty rare to not have guided steering or like the lane assist stuff, the GPS hooked into it. I do follow a decent amount of real farmers on Facebook and, you know, YouTube and Instagram, and I hear them talk about these things. I don't know anything about those things in real life, but I'm gonna someday. So we did every other pass because it was easy to turn around and real easy to snag when the orange line or the orange light turns on that lane. Oh, we missed a good decent spot there. We're gonna back up and get that. So that's why I do every other pass. It just seems to make a lot of sense to me. And there's sometimes when I'll do a multiple gap, and then we'll just kind of go back and forth and slowly take out a chunk of the field, and like skipping 2 or 3 instead of just one pass. Just mixes it up when you're playing too. It feels a little different every once in a while. And I think mentally sometimes doing it this way makes it feel like it goes by faster. You know, some tedious tasks that are just, you know, driving back and forth. It's not that you're not enjoying it, but it's like, at some point, you're like, all right, let's get to the next thing. Let's get this thing ready. Let's get some seed in the ground. Let's get to the next harvest. And I think just mentally for me, I don't know why. Let me know what you guys think. If you cultivate this way or do any type of tillage this way or planting, does it feel like it goes by faster? And this field is all prepped to get planted in spring. And it's September. It feels kind of good though. I think weeds will grow between now and when we plant, but then because of Farming Simulator, the weeds will get, you know, killed when we plant, which is kind of interesting. But it makes sense that they would grow. I mean, we didn't treat it for weeds or anything. All right, let's back this up, put it back where it belongs. Gosh, Chris, you're almost looking like you know what you're doing. There we go. All right, let's take a look at a few things financially, because I don't think we have yet. We know we want to buy these fields, so we got 100. I'm going to pull out my calculator here. So this field is 108,000. 720 plus 182,568, and then 225,696 for a total of 516.98. We could afford it right now. We could afford it if we wanted to, and we had cotton to harvest, which I don't really want to lease equipment for that, which we probably wouldn't be able to afford. That field's done. And I think there's just a tiniest patch of soybeans over here. Let's see. Yeah, soybeans over here. Large weeds, 100% fertilized. So it does have a 45% yield bonus. Not the best, and it's a tiny field. So it almost feels like our time wouldn't be worth it. Like, we know we're going to buy it, but my question to you guys as I leave this episode today, should we buy this field before winter? We know we want all three of them, and we know basically we're going to be able to afford it. Is it worth it, though? Is it worth it? Because we're going to do it. We're going to do it. We're going to hop back over here, and we're going to grab the sprayer, and we're going to see how much higher we can get that yield bonus just by taking care of those weeds in its last few hours of growth before it's ready to be harvested. Now, this is going to feel like excessive equipment for that. Second time in this playthrough owning that field. For the long haul this time. All right, here we are. Let's go ahead and open this thing up. All right, I went way too far forward before it was done. All right, let's lock it up. Nope. Getting a little crazy there, Chris. We're acting like we knew what we were doing for a little bit. All right, let's lock in here. We'll turn it on. And these weeds will get taken care of, and then we will finish this and take a look at the yield bonus once we get done. And we can, whoa. Not sure why it selected that path, but why are we going so fast? We have speed override just cranking. There we go. Back down to 7 is a crawl for this. So we will shut off and then come back over here. We'll get this full headland. Yeah, it's taking care of the weeds. I'm going to finish this up, and then we'll look at that yield bonus like I mentioned. I'll see you in a minute. All right, that should wrap that up. Let's go ahead and hop out here. It got us to 50%. So it needs lime, it needs plowed, it needs rolled, it needs all the things, but I don't even think we'll be putting a crop in here. We will get a little bit of a bonus here of soybeans. We'll definitely not get our monies back, but we weren't counting on it anyways. But that's just another little extra field to harvest next episode. But I think this is where I'll leave you. I am Socksway Up, and I will catch you on the next episode.